Ty and Eric back in the booth. Think Fresh podcast. Hello, breadheads. How are you doing? How are you doing, Eric?
I'm doing just fine, baby. Feeling pretty good, man. It's been 3 weeks since I've graced the microphone with my lips.
Mm-hmm.
It feels weird, dude. I'll be honest. I feel like I'm starting from scratch right now.
Quite the dry spell for you. You must be thirsty to put your lips on this mic.
Oh, I'm thirsty, all right. But I've been busy hydrating the last few weeks.
Well, even though you're saying this, but the breadheads have had a slow drip of content. So are you telling me that was pre-recorded?
Yeah, you could say that it's an evergreen goddess.
Nice.
No, but Ty, I just got back from vacation, so thank you, first of all, my lovely co-host for holding down the fort.
Yep.
I know how hard it can be to not be on vacation and not be able to record. So,
dude, it was tough.
I appreciate you.
Despite everything, I did approve your PTO, but everything in me didn't want to because I had no co-host for 3 weeks, and I had to watch your Instagram stories of you gallivanting around Europe.
That's right. And I don't regret a second of it, Ty, unfortunately. But also, second thank you is to the breadheads for enjoying our slow drip of content. We weren't able to record like 7 episodes again to feed the streets like we normally do. So you only got one a week for the last couple weeks. So thanks for your patience. We are so back. I've beaten the jet lag allegations. I've beaten food poisoning, and we are so ready to record.
Dude, more on that later. I just want to point out, though, before we get into whatever the hell happened to you in your Euro summer, is that the minute we pulled back on our episode release, Subway calls an emergency meeting with all its franchisees. And they said, business ain't good. We're in trouble.
Yeah, dude, that is wild.
Isn't that a weird coincidence?
I mean, I don't think it's weird. I think we are, propping up the big corp of Subway. No one's really talking about them like we are. What I mean? Even in a bad light. Like we're the only ones who are giving them any kind of publicity. And I think they like that. So we'll have to keep going, dude. We're gonna have to do 3 episodes a week to get them back on their feet.
whatever it takes. Because you know, like X.com, there's less and less mentions of the way every day. So they're falling out of the cultural discourse.
Yeah. So what is happening with Subway? Are they just declining sales like gradually over the last like decade, which one would expect? Or did something happen where everyone kind of woke up and was like, wait, we can just put bread and lettuce together ourselves. We don't need to go to Subway, pay $18 for a chimichurri fucking tikka masala footlong.
You're right. Did Subway accidentally teach a man to fish?
Exactly.
They gave them the recipe.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's the case, Eric. I think based off of the comments on various threads I've been reading, I'm just seeing the same comment from the public over and over again. And 2 things keep coming up. 1, Subway needs to stop spending money getting A-list athletes to promote sandwiches when they should just invest in making a better business. Questionable. And option 2...
Spoken like a true solution cowboy right there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a bit more of a qualitative take. I'll give you a bit more of a quantitative take. And a lot of people are saying this, Eric. They said, a footlong used to cost $5. Now it's $15. Make that make sense.
This is such a flaw, and obviously hindsight is 2020, but such a flaw with the Subway marketing team to double down and make a jingle that only makes sense in one point in time. Because like everything has gone up because of inflation. And we don't go like, oh fuck, I don't know, a bacon, egg, and cheese used to be $3 at McDonald's and now it's $4 or $5, $4.50. Like no one really like talks about that. But the fact that there's a jingle for the $5 footlong makes it's burned in everyone's memory.
That's true.
So we're like, fuck guys, like how far did we stray,
You're so right. The jingle just solidified in everyone's mind. It just made that entire campaign a little too successful.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
that was probably their downfall, was promising something they couldn't deliver indefinitely. But I feel like what Subway can do to get out of this, and all businesses can do this, is that they can try to shift the blame here, because the sandwich prices are only going up because the money is more abundant. And so if Subway was just like, hey guys, don't be mad at us on our overpriced meatballs, be mad at the central bank. Like if they started pointing fingers at the root of the problem, then maybe it would hold the root of the problem accountable. And if they were held accountable, maybe they'd stop printing money. But they're like, we don't know what to do. It's so clear.
Yeah.
Shift the blame.
The thing is, it's not even a Subway problem. It's like a global issue.
Mm-hmm.
So people target Subway because they're an easy target.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got the jingle. They claim
jingle.
to have sandwiches for $5. Mm-hmm. They no longer do that.
Mm-hmm.
What gives, guys? But we have to acknowledge that like everything has doubled in price.
It's true.
Like literally everything.
There's nothing that hasn't, which is really unfortunate. If I knew this was going to happen, I would have bought more stuff a few years ago.
I would have bought more sandwiches a few years ago.
Yeah, I would have copped a house for, a new car, anything.
Oh, dude, if only we started saving for a house 10 years ago.
Dude.
Can you imagine?
The challenge is the only thing I was thinking about buying 5 years ago was NFTs. And that's the only thing that hasn't doubled in money.
Damn, that was only 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wild,
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I know. So there you go. It's really deeply problematic.
I did see a stat, though. This is now a finance podcast, but I saw a stat that the Canadian inflation rate is at a 40-month low. It's 2.5%. So that's pretty good news. A year from now, maybe, you know, things will stabilize. Like from now until next year.
40-month low. Interesting. That's such a that's like the way that people talk about sports facts, you know.
I was gonna say about their kids.
Yeah,
it's 40 months.
This is like his fifth basket in the third period within 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like all of these parameters. Well, throwing in their like subdominant hand.
Totally. It's the over statification effect. So this is the first time a 28-year-old basketball player has scored 8 points in 15 seconds in the fourth quarter of an Olympic game.
Dude, the Olympics were driving me bonkers for that reason. They couldn't stop.
It's like, great. What do I do with this information?
Yeah. They always say the stat like it's the craziest thing you've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just trying to say that someone under 5'9", that is male, that is from that specific country, hasn't done it in a few years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, they're telling us like we care.
Yeah.
But statistically, there's a first for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You just add another variable to it.
Like, can you believe that this is the 356th episode of a podcast about Subway? We are making history, people. Pay attention. Dude, who cares?
Oh, yeah, dude. Who cares? Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Nice. I forgot we had those.
Yeah. We don't need to do it with our mouth anymore.
Yeah, I know. I want to add this SpongeBob stinky sound. You know that one?
No, can you make it with your mouth?
It's like it's like a huge foghorn.
If I Google SpongeBob stinky sound effect, will I get it?
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Thank God they didn't play an ad for me to listen to that.
Yeah, too. Anyways, I got back from Europe. I got back from beautiful Copenhagen last week, Ty.
Yes.
I was in Croatia actually for two weeks. Started my journey in Amsterdam, and I gotta say, Copenhagen is better than Amsterdam in every conceivable way.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah. I was a little bit not. I don't know. I didn't have any expectations actually for Amsterdam because I've never ever been drawn to it. I just happened to go there because it was a convenient layover.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen that city and been like, "Fuck, that place looks awesome. I gotta go check it out." But I was pleasantly surprised. You know, it was decent in terms of the food and drinks that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I sat on a beautiful, beautiful patio on the canal.
Had
a nice tall Heineken, which is the only fucking beer.
A local beer.
The only beer you can drink there. They won't allow you to drink anything else.
Did you walk past the Heine factory?
Of course, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that place looked cool. I was like, wow, in like 2003, I would be all over this.
Yeah, totally. It's like the Heineken immersive experience.
Yeah.
You're just like, immerse me.
Yeah. I think I remember my sister going to this literally 2 decades ago
Wow.
when she went to Europe for the first time.
So Copenhagen is kind of like one income bracket above Amsterdam. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Was that correct?
Yeah, it's like an elite society compared to Amsterdam.
That's fair. Amsterdam is the middle class. Copenhagen is the upper middle class. It's the signature sandwich menu of Europe cities.
Yeah, totally. I can't name a single thing that Amsterdam is better at except for doing drugs and like almost ending your life.
Right, drugs and hookers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think I think I kind of walked by the red light district. I'm not totally sure. I guess one would know if they walked into it.
There's some giveaways, let me tell you.
I was probably very like closely adjacent to it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really prioritize it. I don't know. It just seems like a place that I don't need to see.
Right. You got the red tinted glasses every day, anyways.
Exactly, dude. The only red light I care about is the one that's blinking in front of us right now.
Hell yeah. Dude, what a bar.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, dude, Copenhagen, I realized something, Ty. I don't think any graphic designers live there. And I think that's why it's
heaven on earth.
A utopian society.
Okay.
Everything there feels like it's like hand painted or hand drawn or like thoughtfully kind of put together by the person who works there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't see there being many like design agencies who specialize in graphics.
Right.
When you've had so much success with chairs, you know, you're just above it.
I also just feel like the Nordic minimalism is kind of anti-graphic design at this point. Like after the whole Helvetica thing, they're like, we're good now. We're going to just stick with this forever. We don't need to iterate.
Yeah, we dropped our magnum opus, Helvetica,
Yep.
and we never need to work again because that is the perfect font.
Dude, it's paying dividends literally to them, I'm sure, as a country.
Exactly.
I'm sure the Apple licensing fee alone for Helvetica annually is most of the GDP.
Yeah, dude, 100%. But yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. It was cold as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In August?
It was cold as hell, dude. I came from Croatia, which was at 35 degrees, like on a cold day.
Mm-hmm.
Going there, it was like 20, 22.
Whoa.
I was freezing. I had a t-shirt on and I was like, there was one night I wore 3 t-shirts.
Damn, that's awesome.
I had a beater and then a short sleeve and then a long sleeve on top. I felt pretty comfortable after that.
Yo, that's a really funny way to cope, pun intended.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go to Uniqlo and get a tasteful, just like a light jacket?
You know what? I thought about it, but I'm happy I didn't because the last full day I spent in my bed in the hotel.
Oh no.
So yeah, I ate something. I think it was a hot dog, Ty. It's actually between 2 things. A fair hot dog that I had.
Oh shit. It's those non-GMO European wieners.
I know, dude.
You need that preservative.
I know. The preservative saves lives. Preserves my stomach.
Shit.
But the other one, Ty, the other like high probability option here for my food poisoning, the pickles from Noma.
Oh shit.
I didn't go to Noma, okay? But I went to the Noma owned burger spot.
Oh, you did? I'm making many lists.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm proud of you for seeking it out. Was it a good burger?
It was mid.
It was a mid burger.
It was fucking mid, dude.
No, really?
Dude, those dirty Danes don't know how to make a burger.
I figured. It makes sense.
Like we come from the land of burgers and opportunity.
Yeah.
And like In-N-Out washes over that like 10 times.
So is it the the most credible burger in Europe solely because it's the only burger in Europe?
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It took 20 minutes. I went there. There weren't very many people at all. Like few people in front of me in line. They were like, okay, great. We'll call your name in 20 minutes. 30 minutes go by and my burger's ready. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you go and kill something to make this? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
They had to slaughter the meat themselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I got a side of pickles, and what I got, Ty, was a paper cup with like maybe one or two pickles in there, but the rest were assorted spicy peppers, all pickled. And I think that's what did me in. I was howling at the spice.
Damn, you were in a pickle.
I was.
I'm sorry to hear that. That is tricky. This is what happens with fancy food. You know, they try to go lowbrow and they don't nail it.
Yeah.
And then you pay the price.
Mm-hmm. This restaurant had like the most beautiful storefront. You know what I mean? It's like a large concrete building, nicely designed, neon sign outside. Inside looks well architected.
Cool.
There's like 3 people there. And then everyone else is at this like chicken stand.
Right. Getting some real dirty food.
Dirty ass food, yeah. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Let me try this. And I was regretting it, honestly.
Okay, so it was probably the pickles. I don't think we can give this one to the what was the other thing you ate potentially? The hot dog.
The hot dog.
I don't think we can give it to the hot dog. I think we got to give it to the burger and the pickles.
The pickles, yeah, I think it's the one.
The tough part though is the act of pickling should be like a preservation technique in of itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not afraid of the Subway pickles, even though they've been sunning all day in that bucket. And because I know they're just like dripping in an acidic substance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know. The vinegar itself should kill all like foreign bacteria.
Mm-hmm. Same with the jalapeno peppers. Same with the jalapenos themselves. It's all pickled.
Yeah. It was a strange experience eating this burger, Ty, I'll be honest, because one, I was freezing my ass off outside eating it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 20 degrees. I'm freezing because I just came from the coast.
Yeah.
Southern coast, Mediterranean coast. And,
we get it. You were in the Mediterranean.
That's right, Ty. Don't you forget it. I was freezing, but I was eating these like extremely spicy pickles, and I was wearing like 3 t-shirts. And I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable right now. I need to go home. And then I just like lay down after that. I never got up from that lay.
You were down bad.
Yeah.
Dude, you're describing what feels like a guest character on Sesame Street.
What do you mean?
No. So you're laying down. Don't ask me to explain that one. You're laying down in the hotel room. You got a flight to catch the next day, though. So surely you're counting the hours. You're doing whatever it takes to get better, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not 3D printing anything in the bathroom. You're inkjetting the entire toilet bowl.
Dude, every 5 to 10 minutes, I got up and absolutely pressure washed the toilet in there.
Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. As someone who only perfectly 3D prints, I can't relate, but I can empathize.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy.
That's so rough. And then you had to catch a flight. So walk me through that. How did you manage food poisoning at 30,000 feet?
Well, I had food poisoning for about 36 hours before my flight. So I got most of it out. I didn't have to vomit or anything like that. But I was able to take some Danish Imodium pills.
Nice.
Which were hard to come by. Like, Bay had to go out and source them for me.
Mm-hmm,
and the pharmacist there was like shocked that I had food poisoning. She's like, no, I can't. It cannot be.
From our beautiful country.
Like, they don't even have any medicine for that there.
Dude,
like,
no one there's ever been sick.
Exactly.
They're perfect people.
The pharmacy's like about to close down. There's no one's buying.
They just sell recreational drugs at this point.
Yeah, totally.
They're like, we got Molly. What do you need?
Absolutely. So I was able to get some Imodium, and yeah, I took that. I survived the flight. The flight was totally fine, dude.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, nothing happened. I think my body just understands the assignment and is able to just lock in for a few hours, and brace for the journey.
Mm-hmm. As long as you got that dog out of you before you stepped on the flight, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Anyways, yeah, that was my experience. And I got home and then resumed all food poisoning activities.
Yeah, you're like back on your vice?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. We're talking brewskis. We're talking leafy greens, unwashed, straight from your garden.
Straight from the lettuce bucket from the Mexican resort.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Because that builds resilience, which builds character.
Yep, that's right.
Yo, I just realized if all of Subway's ingredients were pickled, then you would theoretically should never get sick.
Is this true? I don't know. Are pickles even safe? I don't think so, man.
I feel like they got to be safe. There's what type of virus could live in that hostile of an environment? The pickle jar.
Only the nastiest kind, I guess.
It's true. I guess it would be like a new type of pox could manifest in there.
Yeah, dude. That was rough.
Yeah, that is rough. I feel for you. I'm glad. Are you now addicted to like the Nordic pharmaceuticals, or like?
Yeah, that's right. I took home I had to check my nitrous gas at the airport.
Sorry, I was going with that. Okay, so Kanye's addicted to laughing gas. Turns out, what a twist. Who knew that a dentist, of all people, could take down Kanye? Like, the world hated him, but the dentist is the one that had the final word.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of crazy to see. The one photo of him with the thing strapped to his nose, it's like the worst photo of him ever taken.
It's so rough.
It's bad.
It's crazy, though, because, like, I don't know if you saw the news about Matthew Perry's death this week, where it came forward that the reason he died was a ketamine overdose because he had a doctor pushing K on him and getting him into like a ketamine addiction, so that they could funnel money out of him. And it's the same case with Ye right now, I think, with this dental guy.
Wow, man.
You get preyed on.
Save our goat.
I know. That's why Vultures 2 sucked. It's because the man's splitting his time.
He's splitting his time between laughing and singing.
Doing time dollar sign at his dentist.
So that's crazy.
It is crazy.
I'm surprised he didn't like reference it on any of the songs.
I think he finished the album. He like had probably the rap party and then word leaked out. I bet he didn't intend for people to know about this.
I can also see him like not hiding anything about his life in his music and just like saying it.
That's true. Well, we need to scrape through like genius.com and see if there's any hidden references to it.
To the NOS.
Maybe he calls himself the Joker or something.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I actually thought Vultures 2 was slightly better than Vultures 1.
You would.
And no one, I didn't hear a single person even mention Vultures 2 online except for Kanye. Like it's just like it came out and I was like, oh, it came out, and then I listened to it, but like I haven't seen anything about it online, like anywhere. Like no one's talking about it.
No, I don't even think like the Needle Drop is gonna review it. Like
no, I don't think they're even listening to it.
No, I would be surprised if Kanye's even listening to it. To be honest,
you probably forgot he put it out.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't laugh at that. Yeah, it's so forgettable, Eric. It's such a forgettable body of work already.
Both albums, though, are probably some of the worst he's ever made. I would put it slightly above Jesus is King. And part 2, I would say, is only better than part 1 because there's fewer annoying moments.
Ooh.
So here's my official stance. Here's my thinking fresh stance. Okay,
let's hear it.
Number 1 is on average a better album. I'll say that.
Okay.
But I think number 2 is better because number 1 had so many bars or like moments that I just like could not stand.
I get that.
Like there will be like a hook on one song that's just like unlistenable to me, even though the rest of the song is like pretty decent.
There were a few skippable moments.
Yeah.
The highs were high, the lows were low.
Oh, they were low, buddy. So
this one is a bit more of a consistent kind of rhythm, beat, pace, whatever.
It feels safer than number 1. So yeah, I think there's a couple of good songs on there that I actually like quite a bit. Like Slide.
Oh yeah.
First
a banger,
first song
sure.
is...
When I heard that, I was like, this album's going to slap.
Oh,
and then immediately afterwards, I was snoozing.
There was one line on that song that was like, it's like, I told her she's a 10, I lied. I gave her a couple high fives or something.
Cool. So the thing though, Eric, is that while I agree with your like you wearing your critical hat here and looking at these two. I need to also acknowledge that the reason for listening to Kanye is not to listen to safe music. Like, I listen to Kanye for the volatility. I listen for those really great highs, and I forgive him for the lows because the highs make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I stand with Vultures 1. Vultures 2, it didn't try to do anything interesting. And because of that, why would I want to listen to it? Why would anyone want to talk about it? Why would it be in my rotation a year from now?
It won't be. But neither will. My whole point is, though, like, part 1 and 2 are, I'm going to try my best to forget about them.
That's true.
They're both ass, but I give it to Vultures 2 purely because there is songs there that I can listen to all the way through. Even though they're not as good as, on average, as some of the ones on number 1.
Right. I guess if every song is 10% bad, and it's going to be hard to get through every song.
Yeah, it's like, I would describe Vultures 1 as like a decent footlong that you've created for yourself.
Yeah.
But then there's a pickle in there that is bitter.
That makes you sick.
And then you take a bite of the pickle and then you shit water for 2 weeks.
Right. And you're like, it tasted good until I had that pickle.
Yeah. And then you're like, I will never eat Subway again.
Gotcha.
But then Vultures 2 is like, I just made a mayo and lettuce sandwich and I hate it, but at least I can finish it.
I'm still here to tell the tale.
Exactly. That's literally my review.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's pretty spot on. And it really depends on what type of sandwich you're craving at the end of the day.
That's right.
Wow. Tell me more about Europe. What else you do there?
Well, let's see. I took a flight with a layover and I didn't get off the plane. That was cool.
Oh, they let you just idle on the runway?
Yeah.
Or did you hide in the bathroom?
That's a cool move. I've never thought about that. No, this was in Croatia. We took off on a little propeller jet, landed in another city like 20 minutes later, picked up more passengers and let like 5 off.
Oh, cool. So the bus.
Literally, it was a bus stop.
You mean a bus stop?
Yeah, and then it took off again and landed in city number 2.
Wow, that's exciting. Did you have anybody that was sitting like in your row get up and leave during that time? Did you have like almost like a minor character change with the new season?
Yeah, actually, it was really interesting actually to see the different characters get on board. But the seat plan was like a bus. It was like 1 seat on the one side and then 2 on the other. It was a 1-2 layout.
Oh, interesting. Asymmetrical.
Yeah. And one thing that was nice was people were sitting in the exit row on leg 1 of this flight. And then when we landed, they all got off. So we sat in the exit row because it was available.
Just like a bus. If you wait long enough, you'll get a good seat.
Exactly, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of an interesting experience. I've never done that before.
I can't imagine that this asymmetrical layout makes it easy to fly the plane because you have twice as much human weight on one side of the craft.
Yeah.
Was that concerning at all during takeoff or landing? No?
No.
Oh.
I think, could it have to do, maybe it has to do with the size of the plane. I don't know. It's a small plane, so like, does 10 people make a difference here? It's only when it's like, 120 or something.
If I knew more about aircraft, I'd be able to speak on this, but I do not. Maybe one day we'll get our
we're
flying
podcasters,
license.
man. You don't need to know anything. You just open your mouth.
You're right.
We don't need to have facts, okay? We just speak.
No podcaster has facts anymore. Why do we have to hold ourselves accountable to a level that no one else does?
Exactly. But yeah, that was my journey. Croatia was fun, obviously. Went to Dubrovnik. Saw some Game of Thrones sites.
Yeah. Does it look like it does in the show?
I think it looks better.
Better than the show. Good answer.
Yeah, because it's like the actual city. Like I don't think they have to change very much.
Right. Well, they have to add in the CGI dragons.
Yes.
There was no dragons floating around.
Just to be clear, no. Yeah, beautiful town. I found that like everything in the old town is marked up 300% in the summer. So if you just walk around and look at some of the menus, you'll notice like one dish is like 30 euros. But I would speak Croatian to every single person I could there. And one place actually gave me a discount.
No
for being
way. A
local. Yeah.
local discount. Wow.
Yeah.
Like you're not another German dude. Like
Yeah, exactly.
we'll give you the local menu.
Totally.
That's
Yeah.
pretty lucky.
It was pretty
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
That is.
I actually had to clarify because I got the bill. I saw there was a line item for discount. What is this? And I quickly hurried up and paid.
Mhm.
And then I asked, like, what's with the discount, right?
After you paid.
After I
Classic move.
paid, yeah, it's classic dad move. I don't want to necessarily alert them
Yeah.
to their mistake.
You don't want to sewer yourself on that.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, we just want to give a discount to locals for coming by. Like, thanks for coming by." I'm like, oh,
You're welcome.
you're welcome.
Supporting the neighborhood.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, that felt quite nice.
That's so cool. I wish
Yeah.
that if I spoke Subway to my sandwich artist, they would give me a discount because I find I'm more familiar with the language of the
Yeah.
Subway. And because of that, the process is seamless. It's faster, use less of the artist's time. Yet I'm not rewarded for that. I might as well just point like a dumb monkey at everything.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
slow the line down.
Yeah. Maybe there is some like online forum for employees that we can look at that has codes for different things. Like cheese and toasted is like a code 7.
So then you're just speaking like binary to
Yeah,
your sandwich artist.
You just speak in numbers to them and they will like yes sir and like download your sandwich.
Dude, that actually makes a lot of sense because they are more computer than artist at this point.
So maybe if you spoke their internal lingo to them, they would catch on that you're also a fellow employee.
Right.
And you could be like, hey, throw me that employee discount. I forgot my badge.
Or use code ThinkFresh15 at checkout.
They've got to have some kind of like discount button, whether it's for friends and family. When the big boss is in town, maybe he gets free sandwiches. I don't know. I might have to scan something. Who knows?
I need to get a look at that point of sale system. I need to see. I bet you there's a big ass discount button that's just like a flat 15 off the bill.
Problem is, Ty, no cool people work at Subway, and so we can't even make friends with any of them.
Yeah, you can't have a guy on the inside because that means you have to like intimately know a sandwich artist.
Yeah,
it's never gonna happen.
Like it's really easy to befriend a barista and be like, "Yo, like I love your stick and poke." and that tote bag is cool. I've never seen that one. You know what I mean?
I love how you did your bangs.
That septum piercing is really neat.
True. There's a lot of points of entry, we'll say.
Yeah, exactly. And they're personable enough to be like, "Oh, thanks, bro. Like, hey, don't worry about the upcharge on oat milk today." Like that kind of stuff.
It's on me.
Yeah.
But
at Subway,
dude,
it's impossible.
Dude, for sure. Like the world's gonna freeze over before I get some free guac on my sandwich. But yeah, man. I did get close that one time, if you remember, hundreds of episodes ago, when I was in Ontario, visited a small town Subway in Ontario late at night, right after my flight landed in Toronto. Got a sandwich. 3 or 4 days later, I'm at Niagara Falls. And a man comes up to me and says, "Hi." I'm like, "Who the hell are you?" And he says, "I'm your sandwich artist from 3 or 4 days ago."
Man, I remember this.
Good to see you again.
That's pretty awesome that he recognized you.
Yeah. And then felt like he confident enough to address it.
Wow.
Insane.
Dude, that guy's a unicorn for sure.
Yeah. One of a kind. If you're listening, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry I don't remember your name.
Wow. You should have got his business card or something.
What is it, just like written ketchup on bread?
Oh man,
if I worked in food, I would definitely make my business card just a slice of bread like that I've stick and poked myself with some mustard.
Wow. One other observation before we close this out: the taxis in Croatia are all a very interesting experience.
Because they're illegal?
I think they all hate their lives.
It's a universal taxi experience.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, the taxis there, so when Croatia entered the European Union, they used to have a different currency before adopting the euro. And when they entered the union, they adopted the euro. And now everything costs like double. Basically what we were talking about at the intro of this episode. Everything just overnight became unattainable, like all goods. Inchflation. And obviously salaries didn't like grow to match that.
They're still not.
They're still not. So basically, everyone there is like pissed about being in the union,
Right.
at least for now. But and tourism is slow and blah blah blah, whatever. Um, but taxi drivers seem to be the most pissed off about this because, like, on multiple occasions, I would get into a taxi and the taxi driver is like venting to me or somebody about how much they hate me or somebody else.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Just their life revolves around hating things.
Yeah, dude. One of the ones we got into, I don't know if he knew I spoke Croatian, but he was talking on the phone with, I guess, the taxi company, his buddy who was working at the taxi company.
He's on a Zoom meeting.
And I guess the gist of what he was saying was like, it's like, oh yeah, like, just go to his house tomorrow morning, ask for the 30 euros, like, and if I tell him if I see him, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
Wow.
he's like, yeah, this, like, I hope I never see this fucking monkey again in my life.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm like in the backseat listening to this. He's like, this like guy's a actual piece of shit. I'm gonna kill him if I see him.
Oh my
like shit like that. And I'm like, you can drop us off here.
Dude, this is the challenge. Cab drivers hate their cab company. They hate driving. They hate their customers. They hate working. They hate themselves.
Yeah.
That's a really tough world to live in.
I know. I think you could make the transition to sandwich artist pretty seamlessly, though.
100%. And I think it's ultimately because you're just like, you're not in charge of your destiny, but you are responsible for your own survival. And you got some razor thin margins that you're working within.
100%.
And petrol prices keep going up.
Yeah, totally.
That's crazy, dude.
Another ride I got into. So it was 20 euros the trip. This is through the Uber application.
Mm-hmm.
So
familiar.
I'm able to view the estimated cost, determine if I want to spend that much to get from A to B, and then I can, hit buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Uber driver on the other side, who all the Uber drivers there are taxi guys. They drive taxis. They can see how much the cost is going to be, and they can also decide if they would like to pick me up.
Oh, wow. So this isn't worth the ride? Cancel?
Yeah. If they don't want to pick you up, they don't have to. But this guy saw me, decided to pick me up, and then within seconds of me getting in the car, he noticed how much he was being paid to drive me, and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And for like no lie, it was like a 15-minute ride. For 10 minutes, he's like, "Dude, you've ruined my fucking night.
Wow.
I'm closing up after this. Like
I give up.
Fuck Uber." He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? These fucking like animals." He would just like say all kinds of shit.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
What an unpleasant experience.
What a horrible experience. And I'm sitting there in the backseat and I'm like inching closer to being like, "Bro, shut the fuck up."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like for a good portion of it, I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry to hear that."
Yeah.
Basically is my whole demeanor but I'm just like getting more and more red as the drive goes on. I'm like, this guy needs to shut the hell up right now.
Dude, that's tough though, because he's either going to drive in directly into a canal or like kidnap you because that's more profitable.
Yeah. He's like, and they take 30 off.
Damn.
I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do about that, bro? You decided to drive this fucking car. Like, I don't get it. People there are just like angry at life and like don't want to work.
It's the Mediterranean lifestyle, Eric.
I know, I respect it, but at the same time, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, what do I have to do about your shitty job?
Man, yeah, it sucks. It sucks that you have to experience that. This is why the self-driving car movement is so beneficial for everybody. Yes. Just make them go work somewhere else.
Yeah, make them work in a fucking
like a chicken butchering plant.
Yeah, exactly.
I did walk past. There's the Yellow Cab company in Vancouver.
Yep.
They have an office or like cab yard like over on Clark Drive. And
I've seen it.
Yeah, I walked past it the other day. And they recently installed a small mural by the door to the company. Mm-hmm. And it's a picture of two cars talking to each other, kind of like characterized like Cars characters, but one of them's a cab. And one of them's clearly a father. It's clearly a father-son dynamic in the photo. And the fatherly vehicle is saying to the young vehicle...
Which one's the cab?
The young vehicle.
Okay.
No, the father. The
Okay.
father's a cab. And he says that the speech bubble above him says, since you're a self-driving car, why don't you go be a taxi then?
What?
I don't get it either. That's the best I can do to explain it. Since you're a self-driving car, why don't you go be a taxi then?
Huh.
I think it's some sort of commentary on self-driving cars replacing the taxi driver,
Yeah.
as if it was not possible for him to do that, or if it was a word of encouragement. I don't know.
Mm.
But imagine seeing that every day as a taxi driver going to work. It just seems weird. The whole thing's weird, man.
It does seem weird. Like based on that, I don't know if they're mad about the AI revolution
I
or not.
can't tell. I can't really tell.
Is there a world where cab drivers are happy that AI is taking their jobs because they don't have to do the job anymore?
I think so. I think they can just be laid off finally and
Yeah,
collect
like
EI. And
fuck yeah, finally I can just, I don't know, open up a cannery.
Mhm. I think the problem is most taxi drivers are men, and there isn't a huge there isn't a lot of opportunity for men on Etsy. And I think like if we could change the like dynamics of Etsy to be more tolerant towards the male creator,
Mm.
then we'd see taxi drivers becoming painters and becoming crocheters
Hmm.
and sculptors and
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of building their own small businesses. They don't all have to be.
Mm-hmm.
They don't immediately have to go to trades. You know.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting take. So what do like female taxi drivers do after they retire from taxi driving?
I could tell you, I've never seen one. Like I've never seen like a proper taxi driver. An Uber driver I've
Oh, I
seen,
see. Yeah.
and it's usually J2. But a proper taxi driver, I've never seen a female taxi driver. Have you?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they exist.
It's like always a brown guy.
Yeah, it's 100% male dominated industry. That's whack, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But that's like probably for safety.
Mm. You think a female doesn't want to just like be alone in a vehicle with a bunch of drunk people?
I think so. I think it's changed obviously with Uber, but like
Yeah.
taxis, like no, there's no new taxi drivers. Like it's just the numbers of taxi drivers have just gone down and
Yeah.
down.
True.
And so there's no like new women who are doing that job, I assume. And it's traditionally been a male job because it's always been traditionally dangerous.
Right. Whereas a woman can go on like be a server or go on OnlyFans or something that like works more for like their, I don't know what the right word is here, not skill set, but
I was gonna say.
yeah, it is more dangerous. You're right. I'm just realizing I did have an Uber driver who was a female once pick me up. It was in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I even said to her, I'm like, aren't you scared to be an Uber driver in Portland?
I would not want to hear that if I was a driver, I'll be honest. From my passenger.
Yeah, and she's like, sometimes it's kind of crazy here. I'm like, yeah. And that was in like 2017 before it got really crazy.
Wow, yeah.
So she's in my thoughts and prayers now.
Yeah, shout out to all the female Uber drivers.
Mm-hmm.
I had one in Croatia, and she was such a sweetheart.
Mm.
It was like my mom was driving me.
Nice.
I felt the best.
You want a granola bar, Eric?
Literally. Literally. So, yeah, it was awesome. But the men over there,
Dude, men are the problem.
they need to, I don't know, work at like a boat rental place or something instead.
I just think every taxi driver needs to just take like one extra smoke break, yank it out, like just chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do what you need to do to relax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We get there when we get there.
Yeah.
I think, you know how like the ticker in the cab driver makes you as a customer anxious, right? Because
Mhm.
you're watching it go up
Mm-hmm.
and you're thinking, I'm spending a lot of money. How much money am I going to spend? If this guy just ran that yellow light, I could save some money.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cab driver's also monitoring that ticker the entire ride, thinking, I got to get this number up here so I can get paid more, but don't want to push it so that I make my clientele angry.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking at that ticker all day. So the stress you feel as a customer, they're experiencing for 8 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
That would make someone go proper crazy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are based on distance and time. So if you're hustling, you're only losing on the time part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the time really is like, I don't know how it's weighted, but I assume distance is the majority of the weighting.
Yeah, I would assume so too.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't want to start including tips as a taxi in the taxi industry. I think that's bad.
I think so too.
Why would I tip someone?
Especially when they swore at me the whole time.
Yeah.
Here's your 15%.
Needless to say, I gave him a 1 star.
Good on you.
But then the first guy who was threatening to beat the shit out of some previous client, I gave him 5 stars.
Yeah. As soon as you're like, I guess an audience member to it, you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. I was like, damn, I do not want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our episode.
I guess so. Well, Breadheads, thank you for listening. This has been very fun as per usual.
It's good to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for our regular cadence to pick back up. Hopefully we can continue our 2 episodes a week. And 500 should hit us pretty soon.
Oh, shit. All right. Think fresh, Breadheads. Ciao.
See ya.